Alright, so in today's video we are gonna do a lot of things. We are gonna go have a look at the domain that I've got, some research and some insights that I did and how I went about doing that. We're gonna have a look at the purpose of why I'm doing this, and we are gonna, based on those things, we're gonna construct a mission statement. But before we go ahead and do that, we have to put that into some kind of context, because of the next 2 days we're gonna complete a whole range of things. And so why this is important to do from the get-go, here is the thing. We're gonna build a website that is gonna help people to convert, and we're gonna use YouTube and the website together in order to build our authority, both in terms of Google and in terms of people. So we're gonna combine our brand essentially with our product development. We're gonna need to combine those when we bootstrap this project from the beginning. All right, so when you're building a digital business of any kind, you need to do a couple of things, right? So the first thing you do is you find your purpose. Once you've done that, then what you do, you go out and you do some research, and you try to find some insights. This is what theory tells you to do. Like, you do research, you get insights, and then you start building some kind of project. But this is not the truth. What you first do, if you are working on your own, is that you go out on domain hunt. And you most often do that when you're drunk, and you sit around with friends and you laugh and you have fun, and then you get this brilliant idea about like a domain, and then you search for that domain, and that happens to be free. So now to the exciting thing, the domain. What are we gonna work on? It is a Swedish project. I'm gonna continue these ones in English, but the actual product is gonna be Swedish. I was looking for, different things where I could build digital products, and I just stumbled upon this awesome domain, marknadschef.com, which is marketingdirector.com, but in Swedish. And I was like, is this available? And it was. And I was just confused, because I thought that for sure that domain would not be open, but would be taken. But that's the domain we have to work with. And the thing was that once I found it, I just felt this awesome urge that I need to create something based on that. And that's when I went into research mode. And here is something I need to be honest about. I have actually done some research on this. And the research I've done is that I've done jobs to be done interviews with about 41 marketing directors in Sweden. And jobs to be done interviews is a special interview technique where you look for 3 things. You look for people's functional, social, and emotional needs. And based on those needs, you start drafting a job statement, meaning what you can do in order to meet those needs with products, services, and other things. So what I did was that I started interviewing these guys, and I found that there were 3 common needs that they had in all of the interviews. They all mentioned these, and they were FOMO, fear of missing out, meaning that everyone wanted to be on top of things, and they wanted to know what all other marketing professionals know, and they don't want to be caught not knowing something that they should know. The second thing was that there was a big sense of imposter syndrome, meaning that most people believed that they were unqualified for their job, but they were not willing to ask for help. And the reason for that, hired to do a job, and you're supposed to know everything, but everything happens so fast that you don't know where to look even. And then you have that they had a problem with their team, or they wanted to know what their team was about. They wanted to know if they recruited the right people and things like that. So these are 3 things that came out of essentially all of the interviews, and that sort of sparked my interest, and that's what's gonna go into the mission statement. Now I will post a video about this research and insights today as well, but it will go into only that, and that will be available in the list. But let's go on with this process. Now, when I say that this is a spiritual thing, it is very much a spiritual thing. It's the search for your own truth, and that might be inside out, which I hope that it is, that you know who you are, you found yourself, and you know why you're doing things. I do things because I enjoy the process of doing things. And I think that once you learn to appreciate the process of doing things, then you will become a good tactician. But that's not the case for everyone. Some people want to make a career, some people want to help the world, some people want to save some old uncle. You know, we all have our different purposes. I found that I get happy by enjoying the process of doing things rather than having some specific goal. So that's my purpose. Alright, so it's time to produce or compose our mission statement. We have all but one of the components that go into it. We have our domain. We have that sort of sets the frame. We have done some research, interviewed some marketing directors, and we have our purpose, like why we want to do things. And before we then construct our mission statement, like what we're actually going to do, we need to also make an inventory of our own abilities. Alright, so what I use in order to produce a mission statement is a set of questions and some of these canvases, and I was introduced to them by this guy Petter and this guy Jens, and they showed me these, and they helped me a lot to structure my thoughts. And they come from two-sided market, meaning you have your market insights, meaning your customer wants, needs and demand, and the needs is what we've gotten from the jobs to be done thing. It's not enough to produce a product yet. We need to fill in the other ones as well in order to create something that they will be willing to pay for. But with the lean analytics and the framework that is used there, they preach that you should launch a product in order to understand what product you're supposed to launch. So I'm just going to launch a product based on the needs that I found, and then I'm going to use that product in order to help me understand what product they really want to buy. So that's what I'm going to do in terms of the customer side of things. Then there is the capability or ability, which I like to call it, side of the things. And the abilities and capabilities is really about, looking at what features do you have, or what features do your company have, like what things can you do and what benefits do those things lead to. So that's the idea of this. And so that can then create experiences. So you can think about what you are able to do, look at your market insights and research and the needs of your customers, and that sort of gets you in line with this project that you're planning. And so if you think about how I did it, is that I was drunk and found a domain, and that made me happy. Then I did the market research. I understood that we can really do something with this because people do have a big need here. And then I look at my capabilities, and from my end I am like a professional trainer, teacher, lecturer. I have made over 350 YouTube tutorials. I've written, big research papers, and I've collected data and analyzed data. So I have all the capabilities to create these beautiful educational experiences in Swedish that do not already exist. And given that, we have about 40 to 45,000 people that this could be relevant to, I could offer this at a very low price point, and that doesn't exist either. And we're going to get back into pricing because there is a price setting model for all digital products, but we're going to get to that later when we get to product. But I'm not going to offer this at an expensive rate just because I can. I will offer it at a rate that is the best for this kind of product. So I have included this. I have this presentation. I have some questions that you need to answer as you develop your mission statement. And let's go ahead and write our mission statement. So here are the questions. What have you found out that you believe is important to share? That is the beginning of the story in the mission statement. How does that make you feel? I haven't really covered that yet, but I need to add that. What you believe you can do about it, and that I have covered. And what are you planning to do, that I've covered. When are you planning to do it? I have not written that yet. It makes me highly unsettled to know that the amount of That's my mission statement. Alright, so that was it for today. As I look through the planning of the coming days, I can see that tomorrow we will have a look at identity, and we will have a look at how to select colors for your business. It's actually more important than you think, or maybe you thought that it was important already and I'm just assuming too much. Images, CTA, like call to actions, copy, that's what we're going to look at tomorrow. We're actually going to build it, and we're going to take some photos tomorrow, because we're going to need those to create that authority. For those of you who looked at the other video I posted today that's in the playlist, understands why authority is important. So we're gonna take those photos tomorrow, and then the day after that we're gonna talk about digital business models, because now we're starting to get close to actually building things, and then we gotta know how we make money on them. Day 6 is building the website. So yeah, let's get to this.